Plans to build a so-called mega mosque close to the Olympic Park in London were rejected this week following a ruling by Newham Council. If the mosque had gone ahead, it would have become the biggest Islamic centre in Britain and one of the largest in Western Europe. Requests for the planning permission came from the Muslim group Tablighi Jamaat and have sparked off debate between campaign groups such as Mega Mosque No Thanks and Muslims in favour of the mosque.
We have felt that it is absolutely wrong for the area. It's two things really. Firstly, the sheer size of it. Originally it was going to be 40,000 capacity and they've cut it down to just under 10,000 now, but it's still too large, far too large.
The size doesn't really matter, size, I think. Obviously the project has been scaled down considerably than what it was before. As I said, taking the aspiration of the council people in an account.
Newham Council say they have rejected the plans because they believe they didn't fit in with their planning policies. The project also raised other concerns for some campaign groups.
Of particular community concern is they're a very separatist, isolationist group, and that leads to ghettos and enclaves and hostility and barriers between different groups.
Tablighi Jamaat doesn't separate anybody. Anybody's welcome. Come and talk to us. Doors are open. It's for everybody. It's for the ladies as well as the men. I'm really pleased to say there's about 2,000 ladies capacity available in the new project.
Within the Muslim community, there are those who support the plans for the mosque and those who are against them.
The Muslim community is growing, so you have to like cater for them. And plus, you know, they have like weekly gatherings, religious gatherings. They need it as well. So you have to look on both sides.
There are already a couple of big mosques in London, the one in Regent's Park, and in East London, in Whitechapel, there is a really big mosque. So obviously the Muslim community would want to build more mosques, but from what I read and understood, there are some people in the Muslim community who are not really happy with the decision to apply to build this mosque because one certain group take ownership and representation of the Muslim community, and so within the Muslim community there were people who were not really supportive of this move.
Another reason campaigners are against the new mosque is because they're suspicious of the groups some members of the Tablighi Jamaat choose to associate with.
It cannot be denied that Tablighi Jamaat followers themselves have been involved in a large number of terrorist incidents, one way or other, around the globe. That's not to say they themselves are officially a terrorist group. They're not. But there's something about their very narrow, hardline form of Islam that's not far away from terrorism.
Say that the Tablighi Jamaat does not have links with any such people whatsoever. The fact people come and go, we don't know who they are. The fact they come in, and if they're of a bad character, hopefully they'll go back being made into a good character. That's what it is all about.
And so, following the council's ruling, what's next?
The plans have been rejected by the local borough council, which is the first stage. That decision has to be approved by the Mayor of London's office, the GLA, which has to be approved or otherwise by him within the next 14 days. We expect he will approve the decision. It'll be very difficult for him not to. However, I think what they will plan to do is, we know they have very deep pockets. They've got lots of money. And we think what they'll do is they'll now appeal to the government's planning inspectorate. They'll appeal to the planning inspectorate and say, you know, appeal against the Newham decision. I
think that every religious community has a right to apply to build worship places, whether it's a Muslim, Jewish or Christian community. And if an application is approved, then they should go ahead with building that place. If it's rejected, they can obviously campaign, they can reapply, because we live in a democracy and every religious community has a right to worship.
Indeed, as long as the legal battle continues, so will the debate. And so, although the council have rejected the plans, the future of the mosque may hang in the balance as appeals will be made. This is Celestina Ololode for JN1 in London.